Hi everyone, my name is Allison and today I'm going to be doing the makeup book tag. I feel like this tag was made for me because I love doing my makeup and I love talking about books, so this is kind of just the best of both worlds. Although I will say that it was a little difficult for me to pick answers for these questions. I think it's going to become really obvious really fast on this channel that I am really bad at picking favorites. I usually have multiple answers for everything, so I think it's pretty impressive that I only have one answer for every single question on this tag. Before we do anything, I'm gonna put my hair back because no one likes makeup on your hair. Okay, first is primer. I use a NYX primer. It is the Hydra Touch primer base. I don't know, it was cheap, it was at Ulta, and I like it. So the bookish part of this is a book that has left a lasting impression on you. I have a lot. One that comes to mind immediately is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. It's not even one of my favorites anymore, but it's one of the books from the last few years that I remember in the most detail. Plus, when people ask me for book recommendations, I usually mention that one, so yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's left a pretty big impression on me. Next, we have foundation, but before I do anything, I have to go wet my beauty blender, so I'll be right back. Look at how much bigger this egg is. Reminder to everyone who has a beauty blender, wet it before you use it. Oh, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This isn't even my foundation, this is my mom's, and the color is not totally exact, but the only other foundation I have right now is a stick one that's like really dry on my skin, and I don't want to use it. So we're just gonna go with this one. And this is my favorite first book in a series, and for that I'm gonna pick The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Sometimes I just pick this book up and reread certain passages or chapters just because I love it that much. Yeah, there's not really much more to say. It's just my favorite book in the series. Made me want to pick up the rest immediately. Yeah, this is more my color than I thought it was. Next up is concealer, and I use the NYX Studio Photogenic Concealer, and this is shade 2. And for this one, you pick a book character that you wish didn't exist. This is kind of hard. I'm learning that I read pretty objectively, so I don't really mind characters that I don't like, because I think if they're important to the story, then of course they need to be there, even if I don't like them. But I guess if I have to pick, I'm gonna go with Gilderoy Lockhart. He just irritates me so much, and I have zero suggestions or thoughts about what would be better than him in Chamber of Secrets, but I just didn't like him. Every time he was on the page, I was just irritated and I wanted him to go away. I was very, very glad when he was finally out of the picture. I think he is important to the story, but I just cannot stand Gilderoy Lockhart. I really just can't, with every fiber of my being. Next up is powder, and this is where I'm going to publicly shame myself. I don't really use powder. If I do, I use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, but like I said, I don't really do it every day. I will do it for the sake of this look. I just take like the middle shade and just kind of press under my eyes. And the bookish part of this is your favorite last book in a series, and this one is gonna go to The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. There's a couple of others that I could think of too, but this one just has been with me the longest and means a lot to me. I'm very nostalgic when I think about that book, so I'm just gonna pick that one. Okay, next up is eyebrows. I use a pot from Milani. This is in Natural Taupe, and I just use the brush that comes with it. Now we're gonna watch me try to do my eyebrows and talk at the same time, so wish me luck, everyone. Oh my god, I'm trying to do this in like the screen of my iPhone, so this is really has the potential to go so wrong so fast. As you can see, my eyebrows are pretty full already as it is, so I don't actually have to do that much work, but when I'm trying to define it, because I really like to try to have a sharp corner, sometimes I can get a little overzealous, as we are seeing. I actually used to not do my eyebrows that often, and then about a year ago I discovered the dramatic difference that it does for my face. I'm just gonna look away from the camera for a second to like make this a little sharp. Can you tell which step takes the longest for me? Okay, we're just gonna stop there. My brows don't totally match, but it's close enough. The bookish part of this is a book that you think everyone should read, and this is Homegoing by Ya Jessie. Is anybody surprised? I will not stop recommending this book until everyone that I know has read it, and I probably won't even stop then. I just think everyone needs to read this book, so please go check it out. Go read it. I promise you it's worth it. Next up is eyeshadow, and this is a book with your favorite colors on the cover. I'm gonna pick City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. This has lots of pinks and purples on the cover, which are kind of my go-to when I do my makeup. So today I'm gonna use the Carly Bible palette and the Modern Renaissance palette. For brushes, I just use these two from It Cosmetics, and then I use the brush that comes in the Modern Renaissance palette. I don't think many people like that brush, but I like it, so I'm gonna use it. I do all the steps that those beauty gurus on YouTube do, but I do it very, very quickly and kind of sloppily. So I just put some of this like lighter brown on the lid. It's like transition or whatever it's called. And then for my crease, I'm just gonna pick up this purple color right here, tap it off, and just go right on in there. You're supposed to use like 10 different types of brushes when you do your eyeshadow. I use 4. Next up, I'm gonna go in the Modern Renaissance palette and take up this hot pink Love Letter, and I'm just gonna start dotting that on my outer corner. This pops enough to look like I did my makeup even if I don't go through all the steps. And then I take some of this color right here and I just pop it on my brow bone and get some highlight going up there. And then when I'm feeling really extra, I take this shimmery color, Vermeer, and I also put it on my brow bone. And then I take that same color and I put it on my inner corner. Then I'm gonna go back into the Carly Bible palette and I'm gonna take this like champagne-y color right here and just put it over my lid a little bit. I realize this is like way more pink than it is purple, but whatever. Okay, I had to pause for a second. If I look a little different, it's because I contoured off camera, because there's not a contour part of this tag. So next up is eyeliner. I use the NYX Super Skinny Marker Eyeliner, and the bookish part of this is a dark and mysterious book. I'm gonna go with American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and I will be right back again because I am not doing my eyeliner on camera. It will be a disaster. Okay, eyeliner is on, and next up is mascara. And this is a long book. I'm gonna pick The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Yeah, this is definitely not the longest book I've ever read, but it covers many years and it is super detailed, so it feels like a long book. It also just took me a really long time to read it because I was just doing a lot. I was in school, I went abroad and brought it with me. Fun fact, I went to Amsterdam when I went on that trip, and there's a whole section of The Goldfinch that takes place in Amsterdam. I didn't read that part while I was in Amsterdam, but it was fun to revisit it. He was in places where I went to, which was really cool. But yeah, like I said, it's not the longest book I've ever read, but it felt very long and it took me a long time to read it, so that's why my answer is that book. By the way, the mascara that I used is from It Cosmetics. This is a sampler. It's the Superhero Mascara. This is pretty cool. I'm probably gonna buy the full size when this runs out. Next up is blush, and this is a cringe-worthy romance. I don't really put on blush. I'm gonna do a little bit today. This is an old one. It's MAC, and it's, wow, that is really worn off. The color is Sunbask. It's a little bit of a darker color for me, so it makes me look a little bit more like bronzed and glowy as opposed to like a traditional kind of rosy blush. I don't know what I'm talking about. And for this one, I'm just gonna pick all of the romances in Twilight. I don't like that series. Listen, I used to love Twilight. I read all of those books. I went to the midnight premieres. I devoured those books. But then I went back to it a couple of years later and I was like, oh my god, I used to find this romantic. It's just no. So yeah, all of the romances in Twilight now make me cringe, and that's my answer. Next up is highlighter, and that is a book that brightens your day. For this, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter kit in collaboration with Nicole Guerrero. She is a beauty guru here on YouTube. Once again, this isn't mine, this is my aunt's. She let me borrow it. Let me just appreciate for a moment all of these colors though. Like, I don't even know which one to pick. Listen everyone, I love highlighter. This is my favorite part. I probably put on way too much highlighter for a day look, but I don't care because I just love to glow. Look at that. Oh my god. My cat just broke into my room, so if you hear any distant meowing, that's her. Shush. So I don't really have an answer for a book that brightens my day. It really depends on the mood I'm in and what I want. Lately I guess the answer would be Harry Potter. I've just had a lot of fun rereading the series. Certain parts of it feel like I'm reading it for the first time because I just didn't remember all of these things that happened. So I guess for this moment in my life, Harry Potter is the series that brightens my day. And last but not least is lipstick, and this is Your Favorite Kiss. So this was a little difficult for me because I'm not really a person who gets that much into ships, but one of recent memory is the first kiss that we see between Alana and Marco in Saga. I will insert a picture here if I can find it. I thought this was a really sweet moment and I really do enjoy this couple, so yeah, let's just go with that. By the way, this is a Milani liquid lipstick. It is an Amore matte and it is number 10, adorable. There's also not a setting spray part of this, but this is vital to my makeup every day. I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray, so let me just put this on. Okay, so this is the final result. Sorry if I'm looking at myself in the screen more than I'm looking at the camera for this video. I was just making sure I wasn't going to screw up my makeup. This time was a little difficult to find answers for, but it was a lot of fun, and now I have my makeup done for the day. Okay, it is hours later. It is dark outside. Most of my makeup has faded. This lighting is terrible, but I'm editing this video and I realize that once again I forgot to tag people. So, if you haven't done this yet and this looks like fun, I tag you. That's it. Goodbye. Okay, so that is the end of this tag. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to be posting videos frequently on this channel, so please subscribe if you want to hear more from me. I also have social media. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at thebibrarian. You can also add me as a friend on Goodreads. I love meeting new people in the book community on every single platform, so please reach out and let's be friends. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your reading. Bye!